Good evening and welcome. You're watching the 7 o'clock news on CNC3. I'm Ria Rambali.
I am Jesse Ramdew.
I am Jassi Marik with Sport.
And I'm Sigoni Mohammed with your weather report.
Let's tell you what's making the news tonight.
It would be frustrating, not also for me, but for everybody else who have to go to work.
With a Maxi taxi strike causing significant disruption, the Transport Minister meets with operators on a solution.
So we are taking them out of harm's way and to their homes, rather than leaving them here to be stranded tonight.
With thousands affected, the police service deploys its buses to take commuters home for free.
A wave of killings rocks Trinidad, with police investigating a double murder, a triple murder, and a body found in Morvar.
Coming up in sport, after a one-year break, the Queen's Park Oval is back in the running to host TKR's home matches in the 2026 CPL.
Hurricane season officially kicks off today, but Saharan dust takes center stage across the islands, bringing hazy skies, reduced visibility, and hot conditions. Can we expect a change anytime soon? I've got the details in the full forecast.
After nearly 5 hours of talks with Transport Minister Eli Zakur, Maxi taxi operators say they're still no closer to a solution and remain unsatisfied.
Route leaders met at the Ministry's Port of Spain office today, raising issues such as competition from illegal PH taxis, the 65-kilometer speed limit, and their inability to transfer businesses. But
with no progress, operators say they'll meet again before deciding their next move. They're yet to confirm if the strike will continue over the next 2 days.
The meeting had a lot of undertones of politics, and that's not a good thing for a meeting like this when you're at this stage. Politics should never ever be any way of any part of the ingredients in a meeting like this. We didn't come with politics because we are guided by our constitution.
The meeting started at 2 p.m. and ended a short while ago. Well, frustrated Maxi taxi operators took their pain out on commuters today as scores of drivers commenced a 3-day strike.
From early morning, as operators mashed brakes on services, long lines formed along the east-west corridor as people jostled for transport with few Maxis in sight.
The impact rippled across the country with workers and students affected. Shane Superville and Gary Vincent were on the ground for this story.
They stood in place from as early as 5:30 a.m. trying to avoid the Maxi taxi strike. However, several commuters from communities along the east-west corridor were left stranded and frustrated as Maxis on the priority bus route were few and far between.
I have to try to find some way of traveling because this is unacceptable. It would be frustrating, not also for me, but for everybody else who have to go to work.
In South Trinidad, similar scenes were observed as Secretary of the Association of Maxi Taxis, Vikash Kisundath, described the situation.
I wouldn't say we get full support in the South. So in Southland, we probably have about 90% of the operators off the route. So it's still, to me, that's still a success.
However, not all drivers agree, as one main road Maxi operator who asked to be identified only as John told CNC3 News that despite pressure from other drivers, he still had to earn a living.
People in Caribbean try to bully me and all kind of thing. But me taking that, you understand? I let them know I have bills to pay, I have children to send to school. Me studying them on the protest now.
One roadside vendor, Denique Dennis, who relies on drivers and commuters as customers, said the pace of business on Monday was slow. However, she will be returning to ply her goods even as the strike continues into Tuesday and Wednesday.
I will still come out. Hustle is a must. You have to make sure and eat and feed your family. So this is a must, no matter.
While in Arima, one supermarket manager said he was operating with only half of his staff as many workers were left stranded due to the strike. It's a situation he and others hope improves in the coming days. Shane Superville, CNC3 News.
Police Commissioner Alsa Guevara ordered the deployment of TTPS buses to transport stranded passengers home, describing the move as part of the service's responsibility to protect vulnerable citizens during what he called an unprecedented disruption. The first wave of police buses assisted students and the elderly. Guevara said 5 TTPS buses were deployed.
We mobilize all the police buses that are readily available to assist in transporting persons to their homes. So at this point in time, we are in the process of delivering on that promise to the Trinidad and Tobago traveling public.
Guevara said police are prepared to assist commuters as long as they are needed. The commissioner also defended the decision to dedicate police resources to transporting duties, saying the TTPS first conducted a risk assessment.
There is sufficient support. So before embarking on this, we did what we call a risk assessment. And that risk assessment told us that in leaving these people here tonight, being vulnerable and stranded far outweighs what we are doing in terms of positivity. So we are taking them out of harm's way and to their homes rather than leaving them here to be stranded tonight. And then you, the media, will be here tonight reporting on, look, 500 people stranded. We are taking them out. The ends justifies the means, and it's free of charge.
While the Prime Minister did not respond to our questions regarding the concerns of the Maxi taxi drivers, she did put out a statement a short while ago thanking the police officers for what she said was going beyond their law enforcement duties by assisting stranded and vulnerable citizens.
Meanwhile, several PH taxi drivers across Trinidad tell CNC3 News they seized the opportunity during the Maxi taxi strike to expand their usual routes, earning additional income today.
And the Public Transport Service Corporation says it has increased bus services in response to the reduction in maxi taxi operations.
The PTSC says additional buses were placed into service after an accelerated maintenance program over the weekend. According to PTSC, extra buses were deployed from early this morning, especially along busy routes and in areas where commuters were experiencing the greatest difficulties. The corporation says passenger demand was much higher than usual. However, priority is being given to CSEC and Cape students to help them get to their examinations on time.
And with maxi taxi operators currently on strike, the National Parent-Teacher Association is appealing for calm and swift action as CSEC and Cape examinations continue across the country.
In a statement today, the NPTA said it is deeply concerned about the industrial action, while acknowledging the rights of maxi taxi operators and recognizing the challenges they face. The organization stressed that thousands of students have spent months preparing for these critical exams.
It warned that any disruption to transportation could create unnecessary stress, uncertainty, and unfair disadvantages for students trying to reach their examination centers.
The NPTA is now calling on the government to put contingency measures in place to ensure affected students can arrive at their exam venues on time.
And the Unified Teachers Association said it has not received reports of any major issues related to school attendance today.
Tobago Maxi operators say they are standing in solidarity with their Trinidadian counterparts. Cloyd Williams, president of the Tobago Maxi Taxi Association, says while his members face challenges, strike action is not being contemplated yet.
2 months ago, Tobago drivers protested over payment delays for the transportation of school children. Williams told CNC3 News, while there have been improvements in the timeliness of payments, a permanent solution is required.
He said a meeting with Education Secretary Orlando Kerr is scheduled for Monday, where drivers will again insist that the Assembly handle all payments.
Why not the THA deal with the financial part of the bargain and the PTSC deals with the actual running of the program, like the physical aspect, the inspection, the monitors, the checking of the buses and so on, and send our money directly to our account, so that kind of bureaucracy and red tape we will not have to go through.
Williams said the outcome of Monday's meeting will determine the association's next course of action. Well, today we asked you if you think the maxi taxi drivers' strike could have been averted.
Here's what some of you had to say.
I know, because as I tell you, if they're looking for something that to do, what they have to do.
Minister had talks with the Maxi Taxi Association. I think it's really progressive for them to develop that kind of relationship, so this could be avoided.
Yes, it could have been averted, you know, if the government would have heard out the Maxi Taxi drivers, you know, this would have been avoided, you know, because everybody have a voice and we all have an opinion as public, you know, as the public.
Yeah, it could have been avoided.
How?
People are the travel. Depend on transport. So where the strike on that for? Is the situation really hurt? Yes, I believe for myself it could have been avoided. Because right about now, a lot of people have a lot of complaints about the way how the system and how the government is running the country about this time.
Everybody has a voice, everybody have a right. I think this is a proper, message for the government to say, we need to do better for the country and for the people. Yeah. I mean, it could be avoided, but it also have different modes of transportation, like buses and boats.
Still to come in the news, TTPS breaks its silence, rejecting claims that officers are avoiding body-worn cameras.
One government minister cautions local artists expressing views on national issues, saying it's not a popularity contest.
Coming up in sport, DLS puts the West Indies women on the wrong side of history with their first ever T20 international defeat to Ireland. In the ever-changing media landscape, we at Guardian Media strive always to put you, our viewers and readers, first.
We strive to uphold the time-honored tenets of responsible journalism.
For us, accuracy is key.
And in our reporting, we strive not only to be first, but fair,
impartial,
and to uphold journalistic integrity.
Above all, we are accountable to you, and we must respect the views of our audience. That is our solemn contract with you.
Keen attention to detail.
Rigorous verification of facts.
Use of credible sources and sound editorial judgment.
Keep track of our editorial policies and guidelines, including our corrections policy, by logging on to www.guardian.co.tt for more.
Welcome back. Protester Alyssa Phillip is charged with disorderly behavior and breaching the emergency powers regulation.
Phillip and her mother Camille Carrasquero pleaded not guilty when they appeared in court today. The charges carry fines of up to $100,000 and 5 years in prison for breaching the regulations, plus another $200 fine and 2 months for disorderly conduct. Social media activist Jason De Silva also appeared in court, but up to news time, CNC3 News could not confirm the charges against him. Phillip tells CNC3 News she maintains her innocence and will continue to conduct herself peacefully as the matter proceeds. The mother and daughter are due back in court on June 12th. Phillip was protesting charges to be laid against Kaya Seeley, who was left paralyzed after a police-involved shooting earlier this year in which her boyfriend was killed. The police service is responding to claims that officers are deliberately avoiding the use of body-worn cameras.
In a statement today, the TTPS said it fully supports the use of the technology, describing body-worn cameras as a vital tool for improving professionalism, accountability, transparency and public trust in policing. The service stressed that it is not opposed to body-worn cameras and views them as an essential part of modern policing. The TTPS issued a statement today amid mounting calls for officers to wear body cameras following recent police-involved shootings and a recent traffic incident in which an officer accidentally discharged a gun. The TTPS says it is now moving urgently to procure and deploy body-worn cameras throughout the service. Today marks 1 month since PNM Senator Janelle John Bates offered her resignation and 1 month since opposition leader Penelope Beckles began weighing whether to accept it. And while Beckles remained mum today on the issue, political scientist Dr. Bishnu Raghunath warns that Beckles risks facing mounting questions within the PNM over her leadership and political resolve. Dr. Raghunath, who is also questioning if Beckles is the real leader of the party, told CNC3 News that the prolonged delay could fuel concerns about whether the PNM is straying from its own principles.
Clearly, these are not the PNM's principles. If you go back to Eric Williams' days, coming all the way back up, these are not within the principles of the PNM to act in any way unethical, publicly so. John Bates did it publicly, and the political leader is probably trying to change the principles and values of the PNM.
The new session of Parliament starts this Friday. John Bates came under fire after evidence emerged that she edited a witness statement for former Minister Terence Jalsing while serving on a parliamentary committee.
PNM Chairman Marvin Gonzalez has accused the Prime Minister of hypocrisy after she claimed that the party was unifying gangs to attack police officers. Gonzalez said Kamla Persad-Bissessar had no moral authority to lecture the country on crime, while members of her administration faced criminal allegations and questionable associations. Gonzalez said Persad-Bissessar was living in an alternative reality shaped by what he described as her government's incompetence and inability to curb crime and gang activity. He went on to allege that the UNC had become what he called the biggest and most profitable gang operating in TNT. Public Utilities Minister Barry Padarath is cautioning public figures to be better informed before commenting on sensitive national issues. His comments come after B-Mobile brand ambassador and soca artist Nyla Blackman called for empathy in the ongoing Kaya Sealy matter, saying she felt compelled to speak out. Padarath, who is the line minister for TSTT, told CNC3 News issues touching on national security should not be treated as a popularity contest for likes and shares. He said people in the public eye, particularly those representing the state, have a greater responsibility when discussing such matters. Padarath backed the Prime Minister's position, saying some individuals speak from an uninformed and emotional standpoint without fully understanding the facts or the law. The minister also reaffirmed the government's confidence in the independence of the Director of Public Prosecutions.
As a Maxi taxi strike disrupted daily movement across Trinidad today, concerns are growing about the broader economic fallout, with one economist and businesses warning that even short-term interruptions to worker mobility can have measurable impact on productivity, business activity, and ultimately national output.
Geisha Kalesa Alonso has more in tonight's Business Watch.
A maxi taxi strike created ripple effects across Trinidad today, disrupting movement, straining businesses, and testing how quickly employers and workers could adapt. Economist Dr. Ralph Henry says that the planned 3-day shutdown is unfolding at a time when the economy is already under pressure, and any sustained disruption to workforce movement would inevitably translate into lost production.
Once there's lost production, it means that the GDP is indeed impacted, because workers can't get to work on time. It means that at their workstations, they are not available to do their work. All right? It means that there's lost output.
Henry added that the effects are compounded by income losses for maxi taxi operators themselves, as well as for workers who are unable to earn during the disruption, making the economic impact widespread. At the business level, the strain was felt in some areas. The Greater Tunabuna Chamber of Industry and Commerce says the strike had a noticeable impact on business activity, highlighting the extent to which many workers depend on public transportation.
Several businesses reported lower staff attendance as many employees rely on public transportation to travel to and from work. So this has resulted in delayed operations, reduced productivity, and staffing challenges for some employers.
These concerns were echoed by Chairman of the Confederation of Regional Business Chambers, Vivek Charan.
Neglect of the facilities one, and a lack of resources being directed to upgrade and improve the facilities the second one. But for us at the Confederation, was also quite important to note in all of this is there really needs to be a push or movement towards finding consistent, safe, and cheap transport for workers to get to areas of commerce.
But he stressed that the strike also brought long-standing structural issues into focus. But in Chaguanas, one of the country's busiest commercial hubs, business activity proved more resilient than expected. President of the Chaguanas Chamber of Industry and Commerce, Bharat Maharaj, told Business Watch that while the strike caused some initial uncertainty, it did not significantly derail business activity in the borough. And now for a look at today's energy and forex prices. Geisha Kaulesa Alonso, CNC3 Business Watch.
Still to come in the news, with a wooden bridge posing a major safety risk, Buenos Aires residents say crucial service vehicles are now refusing to cross.
Well, spring tides remain in effect, but that's not the only reason why marine users should exercise extra caution this week. Details right after the break.
What if we each took one small action today that could have big impact tomorrow? What if one family took a stance to reduce waste in our landfills? What if one school made a choice that can lead to a greener Trinidad and Tobago? When you recycle glass, you create jobs, reduce waste, save resources, and help preserve our environment. Glass bottles and jars are 100% recyclable and can be reused indefinitely. Recycle your glass and join the Glass Loop movement today.
Discover your favorite treat with Casey Candy Gummies. Sweet or sour, dive into a wave of fun shapes and flavors. Our halal gummies are made with fruit juices, and every bite is packed with fun, chewiness, and pure deliciousness. Perfect for an everyday snack, birthday parties, or lunch boxes. Make your snack time irresistible. And enjoy your day with Casey Gummies. Looking for the ultimate gaming experience? Welcome to Phase 22 Gaming Lounge, where gamers of all ages come to play, compete, and have fun. Dive into your favorite games on PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox, or race on our high-tech racing rigs. And experience the thrill of VR with PlayStation and Meta Quest. Our lounge is safe, comfortable, and perfect for everyone. When you're done, check out the latest gaming systems, accessories, and even Samsung and Apple phones. Visit us on the second floor of Gulf City Mall or call 786-2404 to book your gaming session today.
Visit Tire Clinic Marketing, New Truck and OTR Tire Service Center at number 30 and 32 Montrose Main Road, Chabonas. Call today at 665-8973 or 672-3419. Alignment services available. Tire Clinic Marketing, Truck and OTR Service Center. A tire for every need.
It's Super Month End Savings, only at Basard's The Food King. Incredible deals on Santa Rosa Vienna Sausage, 4 tins, now $20. Golden Brand Margarine Stick, to 25 grams, 3 packs, now $20. Guiltless Yum Yogurt, 4 tubs, now $20. More wow deals on Sierra Chicken Fracks, 3 packs, now $20. Happy Charming Noodles, rolled or fine, 340 grams, 3 packs, now $20. Lucozade Energy, 360 ml, 2 bottles, now $20. Fresh Harvest Chana and Brine, 3 tins, now $20. More super savings on Moo Low Fat Evaporated Milk, 250 ml, 4 packs, now $20. Blue Sea Tuna Flakes in water and oil, 4 tins, now $20. Cataly Tomato Ketchup, 3 packs, now $20. Sale ends June 7th or while stocks last.
Quality value, that's our way. That's we're here to stay. The Food King Besides.
Three separate attacks in Faizabad, Penal and St. Madeleine left 6 people dead in less than 7 hours. Police Commissioner Alistair Guevara says these communities aren't usually marked by this level of violence, calling the spike an anomaly.
Rishi Raghunath and Sasha Wilson spoke with some of the victims' families and bring us this report.
But these of them just running about killing people.
In disbelief and grief, Matthew Hariprasad stood outside his brother's home as he mourned Martin Hariprasad, one of 6 people murdered across South Trinidad in less than 7 hours. Police were called to 3 separate incidents: a stabbing, a double murder, and a triple killing in Faizabad, Penal, and St. Madeleine. The violence began around 7 p.m. on Sunday in Faizabad, where 26-year-old Micah Joseph of John Jules Street was stabbed to death. He had gone to drop off money for his 2 children, ages 4 and 5, at their mother's home at Easy Street. His sister Elizabeth Joseph says her brother usually kept the children on weekends. Earlier that day, she said he had a heated dispute with a man connected to the children's mother.
When he went and dropped the 2 kids, I heard had an altercation with she misstand him. But when he reached home, she called him back and said how she needed the money. When he came home, he told his brother, and 2 of them And some neighbors went up there to drop the money, and then that is when we got the call that he died, that he was stabbed and was gasping for air, and he died.
She says her younger brother was also injured during the altercation. About an hour later, investigators were called to a double murder near a car wash close to the First Citizens Bank along Penal Rock Road, just a short distance from the Penal Police Station and the constituency office of the Prime Minister. The deceased were identified as 23-year-old Gerald Hunt and 45-year-old Randolph Felix. Police said around 8 p.m. the men were liming with others when 3 gunmen opened fire, killing Hunt and Felix and wounding a 38-year-old man. And just after 1 a.m., gunmen struck again, this time in St. Madeleine. Police say 43-year-old laborer Martin Harry Prasad, his friend Clary Kingfu, and another man, Anthony Ali Bokas, also known as Joe, were inside Harry Prasad's home at 6th Street Current Settlement when they were shot dead. Harry Prasad's brother does not believe he was the intended target.
Whenever he was but he went to hunt with our next friend, and coming back, he heard the shots at him. So this is shocking to me. I really don't know why it is these fellas don't come and do this thing.
Now, Commissioner of Police Alistair Guevara said the homicide occurred in communities not normally prone to this level of violence. However, he noted the country recorded 42 fewer murders last year than in 2024, and the goal remains to reduce the homicide toll even further this year.
Our goal for this year is still to have a less homicide figure than last year, and as you rightfully said, there were spikes, which we would call anomalies, and these are ones that we can prevent. However, we recognize that what is causing these spikes are these multiple homicides with multiple victims.
He's again urging the public to assist the police with information that could prevent or solve crimes and also report relatives involved in criminal activities.
It's better they get arrested and incarcerated than you have to bury them.
The motive for the murders in Penal and St. Madeleine were not disclosed by police up to news time. Sasha Wilson, CNC3 News.
Meanwhile, the search for a 70-year-old pensioner who failed to return home on Saturday night ended in tragedy after he was found in a river near his Vista Bella home.
Ryan Bikram recalled last seeing his father, Nanlal Bikram, around 5 p.m. yesterday. He became concerned when repeated calls to his phone went unanswered. Around 11:10 p.m., the pensioner was found lying face down beneath the bridge. Ryan says his father crossed the bridge daily, and he never imagined this would have happened. The family is awaiting the results of an autopsy to determine whether Bikram died by drowning or because of the injury to his head.
Well, residents of Cameron Trace in Buenos Aires, Arien, are calling for urgent action to repair a deteriorating wooden bridge they say has become a major safety hazard. They claim the bridge was earmarked for reconstruction before the 2025 general election, but more than a year later, the project has yet to materialize. While they take a daily risk crossing the aging wooden structure, residents say garbage trucks, service providers, and construction vehicles refuse to cross the bridge, forcing them to manually carry produce, building materials, and even their own garbage across. Resident Clifton Richardson says loose planks, rotting timber, and a lack of warning signs have left many in fear.
No caution tape, right? No sign stating that a dangerous bridge. Please do not access with heavy vehicle, nothing like that. Because up to recently, I talked to them about caution tape, and when they tell me, there are no money. Right? It's a set of promises we getting from the councillor.
Meanwhile, resident Josanne Matthews says a nearby watercourse at Jackson Trace needs urgent cleaning, with poor maintenance creating additional problems for residents.
So we are really pleading with the authorities or those who concern this area to come and have it cleared, clear the river. The amount of mosquitoes, and I'm also experiencing where snake is coming through the yard, they are coming into the house, they are seeking refuge.
Contacted for comments, Separia Mayor Dudnath Meru said he was unaware of the bridge's current condition and has promised to investigate.
Meru said he will ask the corporation's engineer to visit the site, prepare an estimate and explore options for funding the reconstruction of the bridge. Sigourney, well, the hurricane season is upon us. Are we to be bracing for another active period?
Nope. So we're in for a below active season, and we're also looking out for less rain shower activity. But this weekend, we did get some meaningful rainfall on Saturday into Sunday. It started to dry out because we have so much Saharan dust days. But let's talk about that hurricane season, which officially kicked off today. It is the first day of June. And what we're seeing right now is that for the next 7-day period, we're not expecting any significant activity to happen here. We're not looking out for any kind of development in the Atlantic. But as we push into the second week of June, we could see some activity developing in the western portion of the Caribbean, very close to the Yucatan Peninsula, pulling into the Gulf. But that's some ways out. Right now, what we're noticing is that for this time of the year, in the month of June, the typical breeding grounds or the areas for development for hurricane activity or tropical cyclonic activity will be anywhere within the western portion of the Caribbean, pushing into the Gulf, or even just north of the Bahamas, extending into the northeastern quadrants of the United States. Other than that, what we're seeing right now is that for this week, the reason why we're not seeing any activity is because of wind shear just really pushing, and this is one of those features that tends to break up tropical cyclonic development. That's not the only thing. This is happening on the western side. On the eastern side, we've got Saharan dust and a thick layer of it right now pulsing over the entire eastern Caribbean island chain, pushing into the Caribbean Sea. This Saharan dust haze will be fluctuating in our area from time to time as the week progresses. By midweek, we should see it decreasing significantly, but it's still going to be creating that dull, hazy look for us in the atmosphere. And into this evening's forecast, we'll get a lot of that as well. Still, it's not enough to hinder those brisk passing showers that's in our outlook, and we could see some partly cloudy pockets developing just after midnight. Temperature-wise, we're cooling down just a little bit into the pre-dawn period, so take notes where that is concerned. Tobago, however, still in the mid-20s. For the week ahead, we start off on a dry note because of all that dust haze, but we have a trough or an area that will bring us some moisture and instability that's going to push into the area by the end of this week into the weekend. So good news for farmers. We'll get some wet weather developing there, but still really warm across the general area. Tobago is a similar spell. Sunny start with dust haze galore, and then by Friday into the weekend, tropical wave action moves in, and we see some kind of relief happening. For those of you heading offshore, not a big change here, occasionally choppy in the nearshore areas, and springtide is still very much in effect. It's with us until midweek, so you want to exercise extra caution if you're venturing offshore, not just because of the springtide effect, but also because that dust haze is reducing your visibility, and that could impact you fisherfolk, as well as everybody else, normal people. You'll feel the impacts of that dust haze as well.
All right, thank you so much, Sigourney. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Living with diabetic neuropathy is exhausting. The burning pain and tingling that won't go away? Introducing Myolaxin D Gel, made for pain relief. Fast absorbing, non-greasy, and easy to apply. Its Carbomer gel formula delivers relief deep at the nerve level. Oleoresin capsicum helps reduce pain signals, while diclofenac eases inflammation. Menthol and camphor provide fast, soothing comfort, so the pain eases and comfort returns. Size doesn't matter. This 15-gram tube gives you maximum relief. Myolaxin D Gel, available at pharmacies nationwide.
It's Super Mountain Savings! Only at Passad's a Food King. Incredible deals on Santa Rosa Chicken Vienna Sausage, 4 tins, now $20. Golden Brand Margarine Stick, 225 grams, 3 packs, now $20. Guiltless Yum Yogurt, 4 tubs, now $20. More Wowdies on Sierra Chicken Franks, 3 packs, $20. Lucozade Energy Drink, 360 ml, 2 bottles, now $20. Fresh Harvest Chana and Brine, 3 tins, now $20. More super savings on Moo low-fat evaporated milk, 250 ml, 4 packs, now $20. Blue Sea Tuna Flakes and Oil, 4 tins, now $20. Cataly Tomato Ketchup, 3 packs, now $20. Sale ends June 7th or while stocks last.
Bushside, quality value, that's our way. The real Bushsides, we're here to stay. The Food King Bushsides.
Enroll your child today at CTS College's private primary school. Classes are online and taught by qualified and experienced teachers. Our fun and engaging sessions are recorded for further review. We cover the full range of SEA subjects with preparation for success. Students from first year to Standard 5 are welcome to join. And with our competitive rates and flexible payment plans, it's easy to enroll. Sign up today at CTS College.
Gaming Express Limited is a premium importer and retailer of the highest quality brand name electronics. We stock the widest range of PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, Samsung, and Apple devices and accessories. Visit us at Shop 52, Level 2, Gulf City Mall in San Fernando, or contact us by phone or WhatsApp message at 687-7480 or 301-9797 or 798-1280. Like our Facebook and Instagram pages for updates on products and services.
This Father's Day, give Dad the strong magnetic cup to rid his body of toxins, stones in the kidney and bladder, stomach burns, prostate problems, and more. Magnetic Slimmer Belt slims the waistline, support back, relieve back pains, slip disc, and back injuries. The amazing magnetic massage sandals massage feet while walking, relieve pains, burning, swelling, and tiredness. Get special discounts this Father's Day at all branches of Modern Curvin Enterprises Limited. Call 653-0011.
Welcome back. A chickenpox outbreak is reportedly affecting healthcare workers at the Sangre Grande Hospital, raising concerns about workplace safety among staff.
President of the National Nurses Association, Edie Stewart, sought to reassure the public there's no evidence of a TB or meningitis outbreak, noting that such illnesses would present a far more serious public health concern. However, he explained that chickenpox spreads easily in healthcare settings because infected individuals can transmit the virus before symptoms become apparent. He noted that hospitals and other healthcare facilities are particularly vulnerable because of the close proximity between patients and staff. Stewart argued that overcrowding in hospital wards increases the risk of infection spreading.
There's the possibility of that chickenpox disease being spread to other persons, and that's why it's so easily spread in close, confined quarters. Like schools, like hospitals, because a number of persons are very close. And this is one of the reasons why the association makes so much noise, some person would say, when health institutions try to cram in patients onto wards more than the ward can ought to handle, because most units, most cubicles, you're really not supposed to have more than 4 patients within a cubicle.
Despite concerns about staff absenteeism, Stewart said healthcare services within the Eastern Regional Health Authority were in a stronger position than some other regional health authorities.
Stewart argues that workers who contract illnesses while carrying out their duties should not be penalized by having those absences deducted from their annual sick leave entitlement. Well, Jassie's up next with news from this weekend's National Golf Trials.
Yeah, and Chris Richards Jr. is the name on everyone's lips. He dominated the trials and heads up the short list of players for national selection. We'll tell you who else makes the list. And Bonnie bags another to spark Manchester City's women to one more title this season. Stick around, sport is next.
Win one of 100 shopping sprees. Super Mom, Super Dad, Super Wins sweepstakes is here at Passad's the Food King and Bright Ideas. This is your chance to shop, enter, and win weekly. Here's how you can win. Every time you spend $300, you get an entry form for your chance to win one of 100 shopping sprees. Plus, every Saturday during our live draws, you can shop, spin, and win instantly at any Passad's the Food King. Hurry! Promotion ends June 24th and is NLCB approved.
Quality value, that's our way. A real Versace, we're here to stay. The Food King Versace.
We are your one-stop, most convenient, most helpful, most caring community pharmacy. Our pharmaceutical services include dispensing medicines, repeat dispensing, clinical governance. But we also have a fully stocked convenience store featuring our refreshment aisle, grocery lane, personal care products, toys, pet supplies. We are most conveniently located out of the traffic, just 2 minutes off the highway in Heartland Plaza in Deva Chaguanas. Contact us on 220-8705 or 470-5938 and visit us soon. Magical Expressions Limited is the largest local importer and distributor of fresh cut stems, offering the widest range of beautiful flowers at the most affordable prices. Call us today at 701-6488 or visit our website to order.
In the ever-changing media landscape, we at Guardian Media strive always to put you, our viewers and readers, first.
We strive to uphold the time-honored tenets of responsible journalism.
For us, accuracy is key.
And in our reporting, we strive not only to be first, but fair,
impartial,
and to uphold journalistic integrity.
Above all, we are accountable to you, and we must respect the views of our audience. That is our solemn contract with you.
Keen attention to detail,
rigorous verification of facts, use of credible sources, and sound editorial judgment.
Keep track of our editorial policies and guidelines, including our corrections policy, by logging on to www.guardian.co.tt for more.
Welcome back. It's time for sport now. And defending Caribbean Premier League champs, the Tobago Knight Riders, are set to return to their original home base at the Queen's Park Oval in Port of Spain. And as negotiations continue between the principal parties, reports have emerged of the possibility of a complete shift away from the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. Guardian Media Sport has learned that Caribbean Premier League cricket could be returning to the Queen's Park Oval in Port of Spain for the first time since 2024. A source close to the situation said that discussions are continuing for the iconic venue to host at least 2 matches this year. Matches were not hosted there last season due to logistical constraints. Instead, all home games for the Tobago Knight Riders were shifted to the Brian Lara Cricket Academy in Tarouba, San Fernando. It is believed that TKR and the Urban Development Corporation, which manages the Tarouba facility, are yet to agree terms on the final cost to use the venue this time around. Guardian Media Sport obtained copies of the figures quoted by UDICOT for 2025 and 2026, which show only a minimal drop in cost from last year to now to an approximate 441,000 TT dollars per match for nighttime games, inclusive of all ancillary services and add-ons such as parking and technical support, and approximately $420,000 for daytime matches. This would bring the total cost for this year's 5-match run to roughly 2.2 million TT dollars. UDICOT chairman Shankar Bidesi said the corporation is holding firm to these figures. He told Guardian Media Sport that these are state assets that belong to the public and that it is his duty to ensure that the public gets value for money. He says UDICOT's price is premised on its core business operations, noting that UDICOT has operated under severe losses with the CPL in the past. If the parties fail to come to an agreement, the Queen's Park Oval could host all 5 matches. We attempted to reach TKR's business and operations manager Karen Surrett via telephone, but calls went unanswered up to news time. Staying with cricket, the West Indies women suffered their first defeat of their World Cup warm-up tour of Ireland today. The result was also a historic one for the Irish.
Bolstered up.
Hayley Matthews won her 3rd consecutive toss and chose to bat first, but didn't stay long into her team's innings, perishing for just 1. Fellow opener Deandra Dutton hit 3 boundaries during her stay, but she was stopped on 16 with the score 21 for 2. Kiana Joseph hit the first and only maximum of her side's innings, but also departed cheaply for just 12. The West Indies women 33 for 3. The procession continued when Stephanie Taylor sold Jazara Claxton down the river with the score then 49 for 4. Later, Janelia Glasgow joined Shemaine Campbell and set about steadying the woman in maroon. Glasgow was especially expressive in her stroke play. Their collaboration yielded 44 runs before a rush of blood meant the end of Campbell. She made 21 from 21 deliveries.
Getting powerful, and that's another 4.
Glasgow, though, stuck around to help a team get past 100. And when the score was on 126 into the 19th over, she tried to go through for 2 here, but was way too casual, run out on 36. The West Indies women would lose 1 more wicket while adding 15 runs to eventually close on 141 for 6. Ava Canning and Orla Pendergast claiming 2 wickets each for the Irish. The visitors started their defence with 2 wickets in the first over. Shanisha Hector got Alana Dalzell for a golden duck and Arlene Kelly for just 1. But a counter-attacking 57-run partnership would prove decisive, with Pendergast taking lead alongside Rebecca Stokel. Stokel made 12 before tickling one through to Shemaine Campbell down leg, and Alice Tector was too cold to complete the call for 2 here, run out for just 3, Ireland 65 for 5. They would not lose another wicket before Pendergast reached her 12th ODI 50 from just 35 balls, and she and Louise Little advanced the score to 99 for 5 at the start of the 15th over. This boundary critical to their cause as it moved them 1 run ahead of the DLS calculation just before a rain delay which turned into a stoppage of play for good. Ireland able to claim their first women's T20 international win by 1 run. Now, despite that result, the West Indies captain Hayley Matthews was pleased to be tested by Ireland in this manner ahead of the T20 World Cup in England and Wales, which begins on June 12th.
I think it's always good where we can come up against opposition playing really well. Like you said, ahead of that World Cup, because it's going to be a lot of challenging games and matches where you kind of have to be on your A game every single time you step out onto the field. So I think a lot of lessons learned for us today. Would have definitely loved to get the game finished off, but at the same time, I think this is something we'll learn from as a group.
On to the men's team, or rather some golf news now. The Trinidad and Tobago Golf Association's national team trials concluded over the weekend. Caston Cupid has the details of 4 days of intense golf, including who are the players in contention for selection.
In a unique development, this year's National Golf Trials took players to 3 courses across the country. Day 1 was played at the Millennium Lakes in Trin City, with days 2 and 3 played at St. Andrews in Mocha. The 4-day trial concluded at Chaguaramas Golf Course. The Trinidad and Tobago Golf Association Ladies and Juniors Coordinator, Kalam Sukor, explained the rationale behind the rotation.
We're going to the different courses so that the players will get a feel for the different greens, the different fairways, and better management of the game, the shot management and so on.
Upon the conclusion, these were the top 5 finishers in the men's division. Chris Richards, the only player to finish under par with a total score of 281. On the ladies' side, Victoria Seenat had a total score of 318, ahead of Elise Laborde with 343 and Haley Lane with 351.
We have a team of selectors who will look at all the scores in the trials. We'll look at the players, how they perform over the last few months, and they will make that decision based on a lot of factors, including experience and so on.
Against that backdrop, the selectors have since met and put forward 6 men and 4 ladies for the board's ratification. The informed Richards Jr., Liam Bryden, Ross Ramkisoon, Gabriel Vanososti, Ethan Collier, and Zico Correa are joined by Victoria Seenath, Isabella Ramdeen, Elise Laborde, and Tori Batiste. Caston Cupid, CNC3 Sport.
To a regional focus now, Jamaica's star striker Bonnie Shaw has added another title to her fantastic 2026 season, while their female sprinters, they swept the Diamond League. Caston Cupid again has more.
Jamaica's women's sprinters dominated the latest Diamond League stop in Morocco on the weekend when they swept the women's 100-meter sprint. Tina Clayton took gold in a season's best 10.85, with Lavonia Williams achieving a personal best of 10.95 for silver. Joniel Smith stopped the clock at 11 seconds flat to claim the bronze. Jamaica's striker Khadija Bonnie Shaw capped another remarkable season with Manchester City women on Sunday, scoring the opening goal in a 4-0 victory over Brighton in the Women's FA Cup final at Wembley Stadium. Shaw's early strike set the tone as Manchester City cruised to victory, securing the club's first ever domestic double after already lifting the Barclays Women's Super League title. The triumph add another major honor to Shaw's growing list of achievements and further cements her status as one of the Caribbean's most successful footballers. Caston Cupid, CNC3 Sport.
And with the 2026 World Cup quickly approaching, one of world football's top marksmen, he makes tonight's Sport High.
Isaac, for that special strike, you earn tonight's CNC3 Sport High.
After a difficult season, it's good to see Isak still scoring. Hopefully, he brings that form into the World Cup.
Arsenal could have done with a striker like that.
They certainly could have, Jesse, but too little, too late.
I enjoyed a very quiet newsroom today because of that game. Thank you so much, Jesse. Let's take a break. Stay with us right here on CNC3.
Dry, irritated skin can make everyday life uncomfortable. For those with eczema, psoriasis, or sensitive, damaged skin, Manuka Derm is made with medical-grade Manuka honey, not regular honey, known for its soothing and healing properties. It helps calm, protect, and support skin recovery. Suitable for dry skin tears, excoriations, and minor superficial wounds and burns. Manuka Derm, powered by Manuka honey. Available at pharmacies nationwide.
At Cruise Inn Hotel and Yachting Center, we're all about time. In fact, once you check in, there's no time to lose. Reconnect with a little family time. Make a splash with some pool time. Spend some treasured quality time. Or just immerse yourself in some quiet time. Indulge your senses at dinner time. We even have the perfect venue when it's your celebration time. So it's high time you visit Cruise Inn. Choose our day pass or call 607-4000 to make your dinner or hotel reservations or to find out more about our event spaces. Take a time out at Cruise Inn Hotel and Yachting Center.
Each day I ask myself, how can our country be better than it was yesterday? We all hope for a better society, but not many understand the power of their influence to change the world around them. A small act of kindness holds as much power as a camera, a mic, or even a seat in the parliament when it comes to achieving societal development. I understand that my purpose extends beyond being a mere observer. I am an active participant in shaping the world around me. From the stories I write to the newscast I produce, it is my hope that everyone is heard and understood. We are where you are.
Welcome back. It's now time for a look at news across the region.
The Antigua and Barbuda government says it will accept 10 refugees and deportees from the U.S. annually, but only under strict conditions. Prime Minister Gaston Brown says Washington must guarantee proper background checks and valid travel documents. Brown rejected a previous proposal for 120 individuals, stressing the small nation must defend its national interests and security first. Cuba's tourism industry is facing a crushing blow today as major foreign hotel operations flee the island. Canadian giant Blue Diamond and Spain's Iberostar ceased operations at dozens of properties. This follows a U.S. Treasury Department ultimatum ordering foreign companies to cut ties with Cuba's military control conglomerate or face severe sanctions. The 12th Annual Caribbean Anti-Corruption Conference kicked off today, with leaders calling for an end to the silos of secrecy, robbing the region of billions annually. The conference chair warned that public corruption has become systemic and urged governments to move beyond lip service.
From here, we take another short break. We'll be right back.
Heart disease is the #1 cause of death in Trinidad and Tobago, driven by two silent threats, diabetes and high cholesterol. But now there's a powerful ally, introducing Berberine Plus by Asia Nutrition, clinically proven to stabilize blood sugar and keep cholesterol levels in check. With 99.9% pure extract, you get superior absorption and real results. Available now at Pennywise and leading pharmacies nationwide. Berberine Plus. Your heart deserves better.
Get the story first.
Want to know what's happening in news, sports, or crime? Get the CNC3 app. As the story breaks, CNC3 is there giving you the story first on your mobile device. Be connected to the most trusted and reliable news source, CNC3. Access your world with just a tap. The CNC3 app. Download it today.
Welcome back. The High Court has ruled that the Eco-Industrial Development Company of Tobago must follow the Freedom of Information Act.
On May 21st, Justice Marissa Robertson said the state-owned company carries out public functions, so it has to meet transparency and accountability standards, even though it's a limited liability company. The case came after the company refused to release details about Manta Lodge Hotel's franchise agreement with Choice Hotels International last year. Activist Stefan Isaac called the ruling a win for accountability. And former Minority Leader Calvin Morris, who first raised concern, said the decision proves him right. He also criticized Chief Secretary Farley Augustine, saying the company wasted taxpayers' money fighting the matter in court.
I felt it almost, outrageous that an entity spending public money could even fathom, and conceive that they can hide behind the cloak of being a limited liability company as to not, be transparent and be accountable to the people of Tobago and Trinidad and Tobago to whom they are spending their money.
Morris said he intends to push the issue further to ensure people on the boards of special purpose companies comply with the Integrity in Public Life Act.
Efforts to contact the Chief Secretary and EID court for a response were unsuccessful. Well, the countdown to Tobago Carnival 2026 is officially on. Roughly 2,000 people packed Pigeon Point Heritage Park on Friday night as the 5th annual festival was launched in grand style. Headlining the night was soca star Bunji Garlin, who had the crowd moving from the moment he opened his set with his hit song Carry It. Nadia Batson also delivered a crowd-pleasing performance with patrons singing along to some of her biggest hits. Tourism Secretary Zarisha Hackett said Tobago Carnival has grown from a simple idea into a cultural and economic force.
During Tobago Carnival, our hotels are filled, businesses flourish, vendors earn, taxi drivers move, designers create, artists perform, communities participate. Young people, you find new pathways in the creative industries. That is the power of Carnival when culture meets commerce.
Tobago Festival CEO Kern Cowan believes the carnival's potential is limitless as he called for stakeholders to work in cohesion.
As we launch Tobago Carnival tonight, let us think bigger. Let us dream bigger. Let us continue to build a product that not only entertains, but inspires. Not only celebrates culture, but creates opportunity. Not only attracts visitors, but leaves legacy for future generations.
Well, this year's carnival will be held from October 30th to November 1st. Are you heading across?
I would certainly love to once I get the time off.
Let's hope you get it. You never know. Maybe, maybe not. It's time to recap our headlines. With a Maxi taxi strike causing significant disruption, the Transport Minister meets with operators, but there's no resolve to their concerns.
The police service deploys its buses to take affected commuters home for free. They're on standby if the strike continues.
In sport, after a one-year break, the Queen's Park Oval is back in the running to host TKR's home matches in the 2026 Caribbean Premier League.
And a few showers remain possible, though thick Saharan dust continues to dominate the forecast.
As we leave you, let's remind you to stay connected with us on our social media platforms.
There you'll find tonight's stories, the latest updates and exclusive content, and don't forget to pick up a copy of The Guardian newspaper.
We've come to the end of the 7 p.m. news on CNC3. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Ria Rambly.
I'm Jesse Ramdu.
I am Jassy Marik.
And I'm Sigoni Mohammed. Have a good night.